Let's show you the progress of what's going on in here. So this is the full-on install video. Hopefully things will be pretty close to 100% buttoned up before we finish today. So let's show you the equipment that we're working with. And this is a, would you say, a 17 by 18 room?
The theater room is 14 by about 17 and a half.
Okay, so this is a 14 by 17 and a half. But the speakers that we have in here are going to be Atlantic Technologies. We have the AT8600Es for the front. We have the center. We have the left and right over here. So those already have their own little built-in shelves and cabinets, so that's really cool. But to round out the entire system, they wanted to do the rest of the AT system, which I think is pretty cool as well. I haven't necessarily heard the in-wall, the architectural versions of AT speakers, so that's going to be really nice for me to demo those as well, give you guys, a little more testimonial on those. But right here we have the IC6HTs, so these are the heights. So if you can see there, they have a little bit of an angle to the dangle, right? So they're kind of kicked out a little bit versus being just straight, flat overhead speakers. And then we have the in-wall LCRs over here. These are the 110s, and that's going to be for the surrounds. And then he has the 105 LCRs over here for his rear surrounds. So it's kind of a little bit smaller, but there was a reason why he decided to go with this whole system, because look at the room. So if you look back here, this is where the surround's going, which is going to be that taller one that we're talking about, which is going to help out with maximize sound for both rows of seating. So with a room that standard height like this, you don't get the ability to go super crazy high with your speakers. So obviously you'd like to have them higher, but that was a consideration whenever they did the sconces too, because you can't have the sconces on the ceiling, right? So everything just has to look right. So that was one of the main reasons why they decided to go with that as well. And then you have the ability to have those back here. You have your quartz countertop. All this stuff was built out, and these are the brand new seats. These are from Octane Seating, and what model is this?
Dream.
These are the Dream seats from Octane Seats. And I think that's where we're at right now. I'm not sure if you guys saw this little hush box last time, but that's in there. Looks really, really nice, and everything is nice and painted, trimmed. The carpet's in. This is some really nice carpet. If you guys could walk on it, you'd really appreciate the quality of it, because it's fancy, and it looks good on camera. So I think that's it. So we have a couple other things to let you know about up front. Marantz 7015, brand new 11-channel processor, 9 channels, ready to go right out of the box. So that was the main reason why the customer decided to add a 2-channel amplifier. That is the Marantz 7025, and that one is just 2 channels so that you can maximize the full potential of this Marantz amplifier right here, this Marantz AVR.
We're going to have that drive to left and right.
Yeah, so this is going to be for the LNR. The center is still going to be off of this. But we have the SVS SB3000s. We have 2 of them. And these are their homes, which they look really, really nice tucked in there. And everything's just measured out to the nines. It's nice and flush. And I really think that the system is coming together, very nicely. So just to round out the entire update of the room, let's just show you this over here. So this was the custom built, AV rack, as it would be. So you have your shelves over here for all your equipment, and then this is just a shelf quartz countertop for, ancillary stuff, like maybe some popcorn machines and things like that.
There are a few more shelves over in the other room, but I just took them out so I could have access to work on the wiring.
Yep, and then even then, he's going the extra mile doing banana plugs with this job, so this is going to be a really cool install. So that was the rundown of the gear and also a little bit of an update to the room itself. And I think that's all we got, so we're going to start doing the actual install, and then we'll just keep updating you as things progress, so stick around. So I'm sure you guys are going to ask, so these are a couple of different accessories that were used for the room. These are the sconces, LED fully dimmable, and these are the overhead down lights. So let's just give you a quick view of that. We got that right there, and then we have 9 of them in the ceiling, and then it just gives a nice effect overall. Well, okay, so now we're going to show you how to install an in-wall speaker into your wall. So obviously this has already been done. This is a key part to it, but there's going to be a template, and you basically just trace it out, cut out your template, trace your template, give it a nice cut, and then back here, let's just show them real quick. So right here, typically you're going to find a stud where you're going to have your plate. So your plate kind of looks like this, right? Electrical, but it's flat, so it's going to be white, probably. So that's going to be into a stud, so you basically just have to pop that out, and that's going to have these wires in there. So besides stripping back the wires and then exposing the copper that's in there, you know, it's very simple. All you do is just go red to red, black to black, and that's about it. These have dog legs in them. So as you see right here and here, there's a ton of them on this one because it's kind of larger than normal. But now that what you're going to do is pop it in there, make sure that it's the proper orientation, because some of these are, you know, different up and down. So obviously you can see the HF is the proper orientation. And then you're just going to start screwing it in. And then even then, whenever you start doing it, you might hear a crack and a creak. Sometimes that's just the dog legs catching on the back part of this. So before you get everything nice and cinched in there, I would recommend just getting one of the dog legs taken care of, and then make sure everything's nice and level, straight up and down, and then left and right. That's it. So like you just heard, the dog leg is catching home. So it's kind of in a weird position, and then whenever you screw it, it catches, and then it goes down its track and cinches in. So it physically pulls the speaker to the wall, so everything's going to be nice and tight and cinched down like that. But that's it. There really is nothing, there's no mythical way to do this. There's nothing super complex. Just takes time. I know this is a really fast overview, and there's plenty of other videos, you know, out there, but this isn't, you know, how to install a in-wall speaker. It's just, you know, an install video. So I just wanted to show you guys that part as we continue. Yeah. So these are going to be painted to match this trim right here. So that's going to contribute to the overall aesthetic. But then on the ceiling ones, those are going to be painted this color right there, so that they blend in and they're not noticeable. So that's all you got to do. Copy and paste, keep it going. All right, let's check it out.
All right, here we go.
Echo, turn on theater lights. Dang. Well, all right, guys, looks like we are in the space. If you were looking at the video that we did a couple weeks back, this is a vast difference from before. I mean, just look around. I mean, it's nuts. LED lights are behind the screen, as well as in the overhead over here. The lights are done. We have carpet in, riser built, new theater seats, and LEDs to follow everything up so that you don't trip in the nighttime. Full 7.2.4 system in this space, and then a massive screen. So I'm going to turn it over to Cameron. He's going to let you know, he's from Insane AV as well. He's going to let you know what he did in this entire space. And then as he's talking, I will, you know, splice in some videos of what we had in this space before and then what it is now, so you guys can remember. If not, I'll leave the link to this video right up here. So if you guys can just click that later on, and you can have a good frame of reference.
So the actual main theater room, once again, as we said before, is 14 by about 17.5 deep. We've added a 16-inch riser, lifting up that back row to a nice stadium style. We've put these big oversized steps in. We've built in 2 sets of love seats in the back, 3 tables built in as well. Nice concrete quartz countertops. We've got a row of 3 in the front row here. We've got the full Atlantic Technologies system with the SVS SB3000s, and the reason why we chose those is because they have a little smaller footprint. We were able to build them in, and also the Atlantic Technologies are all sealed speakers as well, so we're keeping that full sealed sound throughout the room.
So we have the 8600 over here for the L and R, and also for the center channel. This is built in there. So if you're looking here, we have grills, you know, placed over the top of them, and then there's some craftsmanship that goes along with the grills as well. So overall, the fit and finish just looks very, very nice, as well as the built-in for the screen back there. So what size is the screen?
This is a 120/235. This was the homeowner's existing screen that he wanted to continue using. So we built a little shadow box out. It's sitting there floating within the built-ins itself. We've run a 24-volt dimmable blue LED strips around the screen in the back, and then also around the tray in the ceiling. I think it looks amazing.
Cool. So you did everything in this room from beginning to end, whether it be the lighting, the electrical. Well, obviously you contracted out for the electrical, but a lot of the planning was your idea, as well as the design aspect, correct?
You know, I'm not going to take 100% credit for the design. You know, the homeowner had excellent ideas, and it's my goal to always make sure that the homeowner is 100% satisfied and gets exactly what he wants. You know, I'm just just super happy with the way everything came together. There's a lot of nice touches, and like I said, I'm not going to take all the credit. I think we had a great collaboration, but that's what we're all about. We want to take your ideas, and if we can make them better, do it. And if your ideas are awesome, we're going to make what you want happen.
What I really like is this little shelf that you made for the projector. It's kind of future-proof in that it's available for, you know, upgrades and expansion, correct?
Yeah, we made sure that this particular unit can fit the new 4K JVCs, it can fit the Epsons, it can fit the Sonys, and it fits this Panasonic in there just quite perfectly. So, you know, yeah, it's ready to upgrade in the near future, but it's totally up to the homeowner.
Tell me about the seats.
So these are the Octane Dream seats. They have really nice quality leather. Built-in USBs. We have the movable headrests and also full recline, full power everything. Also has the built-in storage. Good place to put your extra remotes or any accessories that you purchase with the seats.
Cool. So do you want to talk about the rest of the speakers?
So this is a full Atlantic Technology setup. We've got the IW110s in the sidewall. We've got the IW105s in the rear. And the reason why we did that is just to kind of keep, you know, things nice and level with the built-ins. We didn't have the space for the 110s in the back, but that, believe me, the 105s can go plenty loud. They're all calibrated. And then we have the IC6 HTs in the top, and why we did that is because of the drop down. It just aesthetically looked better to have them in the sides, and these are tilted at a 15-degree angle, so they're programmed as Atmos, but they're kind of tilted almost like heights, but you still get that sound all around you. It's a pretty neat solution.
Cool. What about the carpet?
So this carpet is called Star Trellis, and it's actually, I think, turned out amazing. The homeowner just had a great choice in this carpet. It's made by Joy Carpets. Once again, it's called Star Trellis, and I just think it's the finishing touch on this room, to be honest. The designs kind of evolve as we go along, and you know, me and my trim carpentry partner, we just kind of had these ideas, and we just wanted to make the room real linear. Like the homeowner loves modern and streamlined, and yeah, we kind of just kept adding trim, and it just turned out to this, and I just think it really came together.
So the only thing that we have to show you guys is the stack over here, basically the brains behind the operation. So they went with a Marantz 7015. So that's the 2020 model, also an two-channel lamp here.
7025.
Yeah, the 7025. And then we have a Pioneer down here. We're just using this in the interim as a Blu-ray player. And then we've already talked to the customer about potentially upgrading to a Panasonic, you know, to reap the full benefits of that Atmos system. And then we also have the Harmony 2400 down there for control, and then the Xbox Series X. So this room's going to be pretty sweet whenever it's fully functional with the Xbox and that new 4K Blu-ray player. But we did a couple demos already, and it sounded really, really good. So I have the homeowner here, so I was wondering if you wanted to talk real quick about your initial impressions of this little system.
Well, you know, Cameron and I just kind of started this conversation, and it kind of turned into this. I mean, we kind of had an idea, but like he says, you know, we just kind of went as we went on the fly, so to speak, and we kind of just created what we needed to create and whatever felt right. We ended up, you know, Cameron had the skills and the foresight to be able to actually create it and pull it all together with everything that we've done. There's a lot going on here, even to the detail of, you know, the color of the LEDs. You know, when we brought in the seats, you know, they obviously have the little blue LEDs. And so we thought, why don't we match those to the ceiling to kind of pull everything together? And I think it looks awesome just because it just looks like it belongs together, like it's one unit. It's super comfortable. They're super spacious. You know, we've already watched movies and played Xbox with the kids in here, and it's their favorite room. You know, they're hanging out here. They're for some reason now out of their rooms into this room, which is the goal, right? So I think it's amazing. It's phenomenal, and we're super excited about it. Cameron did a great job.
Well, perfect. Looks like a full endorsement for Insane AV. Again, these guys are one of Dream Media's preferred installers out here in the Houston, San Antonio, Austin market. But if you guys want some extensive work like this and you want, you know, your room to be, you know, I guess better than the guy down the street, these are the finishing touches that Insane AV brings to the market. So I am fully impressed with the overall execution. I didn't think that this was possible. Cameron basically told me what he was planning for this space, and I did not think it was even possible at all, based on the dimensions. But everything came together perfectly, and I can fully, I can definitely entrust that if we want to do this again, I mean, I will have the full backing of Cameron, as well as full confidence to get this done. But I think what we're going to do now is show you guys some demos. But other than that, the video series is done. You guys have been pretty positive over the entire video series. Thank you everyone for chiming in over the last couple of weeks. But this thing is done, and I think the homeowner is really going to appreciate his brand new space, and it'll bring him lots of hours of enjoyment, as well as he'll probably contemplate many more upgrades along the way. So let's get into those demos. But as always, make sure you like, favorite, share, and subscribe. I'll catch you on the next one.
Okay. So one of the nice things in the room also that we'd like to mention is we're running the Lutron Caseta system in here. We've got 4 switches on the wall, and so we've got our main 9 ceiling lights on one switch. We've got our entryway lights on another switch, and then we have our wall sconces as well as the step lights on a 3rd switch, and then we've got the LEDs on a 4th switch. And then the homeowner has actually connected his Amazon Echo to it, and so whenever he walks into the room now, he can just give the command, and he's got all kinds of things programmed in. It's really neat. I'll let him demo that for you.
Well, I mean, the main ones, I think it's pretty obvious when you first walk into the room. This is very bright. We have a lot of lights over here. So I created a command to when you walk in, that it just actually looks nice and cozy and inviting. So I'm going to go ahead and turn them off. Echo, turn off theater lights. So that turns everything off. So assuming that you walk in here like this, when you walk in, you can just say, Echo, turn on theater room. And so it turns off all the lights so you can see everything, but in a dimmed mode where it's kind of cozy and you know, it looks more inviting. And so when you want to watch a movie, you can just say, Echo, it's movie time. And so it dims everything, turns everything off, except for the very slight halo on the screen, which kind of helps the contrast a little bit. And then when your kids want to play Xbox or something, or just watch it, or want to come here and watch the news, and I need a little bit of light, I can just say, Echo, play Xbox. And so it increases the LED lights and turns on the sconces a little bit, so there's just enough light to actually be able to see things, like read a piece of paper or something like that, but not enough light to disturb from the actual game or whatever you're watching. Or Echo, watch TV, and that pretty much gives the same command as well. So, and there's a million things that you can do, and Cameron's going to show me later on how to integrate it even more, and he's going to program the Harmony remote, which is going to make it all kind of integrated even more so. But for now, this is pretty cool if this was the stopping point, but it certainly isn't. So Cameron's going to help us out with that.